those doubts of life beset us, I just fall upon my knees and find His there. It's all about Him and what He did at Calvary. Not one thing could I have done to pardon my sins. Jesus' blood He shed for me when He died upon that tree. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's all about Him. Amen. If tomorrow I awake to have nothing, I would have to say that God is good to me. All the riches of this world, they don't matter, for I've been saved, bought by His grace, I've been made free. Amen. All because of Him and what He did at Calvary. Not one thing could I have done to pardon my sins. Jesus' blood He shed for me when He died upon that tree. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's all about Him. Amen. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's all about Him. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
I can tell you a little bit about what He can do.
Yeah, thank you, Lord.
Yeah, brother. 7 or 8 years ago, I was in the best financial shape of any man won't ever be in this life. Not bragging, God has blessed me richly.
Bless Him, Lord.
Bless Him. I lost my job at the plant after 40 years. My wife was a bad diabetic, couldn't get no insurance. She was in the hospital for 150 times in 14 and 15. Bankrupt this old boy, and they wouldn't let me file bankruptcy. But I'd worked for this woman and man, I don't know whether I've even told Mike about it or not, and I worked for them, I worked at the plant too, and they had left a lot of stuff. I had some real estate, and they wouldn't let me file bankruptcy on account of it. But let me tell you something. God supplied all my needs. I had money in my savings. I spent everything I had. I was a broke man. I didn't have nothing.
He knows.
And I didn't turn my back on Him.
Bless Him.
Yeah. 48 years ago was a little old altar in a old store building one night.
Yeah, brother.
I took my hand and He told me through all the thick and all the thin.
I'll be.
Bless Him,
He
Lord.
said, when you think I ain't around, I'll be around.
Amen. Thank you, Lord.
When all this was hitting me, you can ask these men, I didn't sing with some of them back then, but they know my life.
Bless Him, Lord.
And the quartet I sang him and picked me up at the hospital and dropped me back off at the hospital.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. But God has supplied every need, and in 7 years I paid off over $500,000.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Thank God.
I can show you their clean bill of slave right now.
Thank you, Lord.
What I'm saying is, there was times that there's 2 mountains and 1 valley in front of me.
Yeah.
I really didn't know where it was coming from. But God supplied my needs.
Yeah, bless Him.
Yes,
Amen.
Bless Him, Lord.
I'm debt free.
Praise Him, Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
I ain't got no wife. She done gone to heaven. I'm going over. I go over there once in a while. Tell her I might be laying there beside you, standing beside you, or over at the house, but I'm gonna meet you in there. And we're going to heaven together.
Yes.
She won't beat me there. They might come out first, but the Bible says we together will be at them.
Amen.
So if you got a companion or a friend over yonder, just look. You going with them, man? But what I'm telling you is, I didn't tell you that bragging, I'm just telling you that Jesus is good to us.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
God gave his son, and we not have this freedom. And that's the reason that a little wind, a little snow don't stop me, Brother Mike, from going to the house of God. I think it's our duty as a Christian, and I praise the Lord for this opportunity. I didn't give a half of my testimony, but I'll tell you one thing. I just want to share that little part with you, that God has got, he owns the cattle on 1,000.
Yes, sir.
He owns our
I mean, he got to deal with it to start with, and he just lets you who has it needs it. He said, you don't have it, you get your wants. He said, I'll give you your need. I'll supply all your needs.
Right.
He didn't say give me my wants. He wanted one. I'd like to have one of them big old fancy cars, but you know, I'd be back in debt again. I don't want to do that. I mean, you know, and then that's pay for the thing, wasn't it? Huh? Well, anyway, we're going to sing for you. I appreciate you being out. Some of you don't know. This is Randy Williams singing the baritone, the lead, the tenor, whatever's left. This is Brother David Eastwood singing the tenor and baritone, whatever's left. He leads too. We just switch around. See, I'm going to tell you this. Last February, our leader had cancer for a year or two, and he got to where he couldn't go. So the Lord let me regroup with this young man here, and his Raymond's wife was first lady that ever sang in the group, and I call her the first lady because I switched over to lead from the tenor part, and she comes and helps us when David can't go, and I appreciate that. This preacher Ed McLean singing the bass, and he pastors Bradshaw's Chapel down there on Oklahoma Road there in Churchill, below in Carter's Valley. That's something we ought to never do, is introduce a group, but since it's our first time here, I've been here before. I was here before 98, let's put that away. The man that brought me out here is in heaven, and he died on May the 26th in May of 1998, and I've been over here for a year or two before that. So I've been here before. I might have changed a little bit, but somebody tells me I ain't changed a whole lot, but I've got a lot older. But anyway, pray for them, and pray for our group. And,
Bless them, God.
I mean, we want to be a blessing. That's our heart desire.
Yeah.
We like to see people saved. Brother David will tell you there in a minute. He'll testify. He'll tell you what happened to them at their church over the weekend. Go ahead, David, before we sing.
Yeah, I thank God for saving my son tonight.
Bless you.
It's good to be here with you all, and we had the little 12-year-old girl saved at our church Sunday.
Praise the Lord. Bless you, God. Thank you, Lord.
When life for
Me on this earth is ending, and I am facing death's chilly tide. I'll bid farewell to my friends and loved ones till we shall meet on the other side.
On the horizon, beyond the sunset cloud, I'll see a
City of delight.
street of
Yes,
soon I'll be
soon I'll take my flight to that city bright.
see my
See my blessed Lord.
where nuts grow old.
City built for square, mansion for a home.
Yeah, praise the Lord.
Park on which to play, where you glory to his name, make his praises ring. When we reach that land and settle down, oh, on rejoicing with all the millions who go before me to that fair land. We'll raise our voices in exultation, a great united and happy band.
On the horizon, beyond the
Past the sunset
I'll
cloud,
see a
city of delight,
street of
Yes.
soon I'll be
soon I'll take my flight to that city bright. See my blessed Lord. No one will grow old. City built for square, mansion
I said, I've never trioed in a funeral before. I've always done four-part harmony. Brother Ed said, well, I'll go help you. I'll help you if you have part in that funeral anyway. So I'll help you in that funeral. Come off the stage that night, and he said, well, we're going tomorrow night. I said, I've got an appointment, brother. And that's in 2010, and we still at that appointment. This is his wife, Joyce, sitting over here, her cousin sitting beside of her, and they support us in their prayers, which that's, David's wife is a prayer warrior. Listen, she's first lady, she's a prayer warrior.
Thank you, Lord.
Her name's Susan, so we got some prayer warriors.
Praise the Lord.
You gotta have, I mean, you know, you don't know we're gonna need prayer, huh? We can sing a song about it anytime, but a lot of times you can't get a hold of the Lord. You ever thought about that? It's time that I would love to talk to him, and I thought I wouldn't get no higher than that seat.
Bless him, Lord.
Huh?
Yeah. Bless him, Lord.
When you get that way, it kind of scares you too, don't it? I mean, because he said, I'm always there, didn't he?
Yeah.
And I thought, well, if he's there, where's he at now? You know, I mean, I've got that desperate. Ain't you ever got that desperate?
Yeah.
Bless him, Lord.
When you get desperate, though, you get think about it, he'll slip through the back way.
Yes, sir.
Huh? You feel something, lay his hand on your shoulder, and it'd be him.
Amen.
Picked him out, just like me when I was broke, you know, had all them bills and and my wife was dying and I didn't know what I was gonna do, you know what I'm saying? That's when he comes on the scene.
Yeah.
Them fellas on the ship, he was sleeping good down there back of that thing, if they left it alone, cause he told them to let us go to the other side.
We're going.
They went on anyway, if they had woke him up.
Right.
But, see, they woke him up just, and he said, oh, where's your faith at, you know? My faith bothers a little bit too sometimes.
Yeah.
Bless him, Lord.
Really, I was gonna say, I didn't do, we got pretty good.
Obey the Lord.
Bells of joy are ringing since the Savior came in. Place my feet upon the right way. I will tell the story how He saved me from sin. I'm a happy pilgrim today.
I am bound for heaven, my home. Singing out His praises each day.
Praise God.
One day I was
One day I was walking
down sin's lonesome
down sin's lonesome road.
my life was all
My
trouble
life was all trouble,
and heavy my load.
so heavy my load.
I'd heard about Jesus
I heard about Jesus
and what he could do.
what he could do.
Then I cried out for
I cried out for mercy. It was then I prayed through. Then I prayed through.
oft times I grow weary.
Sometimes I grow weary.
My body gets tired.
I get so tired.
I'm homesick for
I'm
heaven
homesick for heaven.
to be with my
Oh,
Lord.
with my dear Lord.
He's built me a man
Build me a bright mansion,
all shining and new
shining and new.
and started for
I'm
heaven.
starting for heaven, and I mean to go through. I'm going through.
Oh Lord, I'm so happy
Lord, I am so happy.
that I learned to
Pray, humbly to pray.
I'm headed for
I'm
heaven.
heading for heaven.
I'm well on my way. I've chosen the way.
I've chosen the way.
My Lord's faithful few.
I'll stay with the few.
And starting for
I'm
heaven.
starting for heaven, and I mean to go through. I'm going through.
Great job.
Amen.
Amen. Appreciate that. Amen. Wonderful singing, wasn't it? Amen. Presence of the Lord involved in that, and I certainly enjoyed that. What a blessing that was. Thank God for that great singing. Well, we're going to get ready and turn Brother Mike loose, let him obey the Lord and feel his liberty. I meant to bring some batteries down for this microphone. Most of the time they're good for about 2 days, and then they need changing. But maybe the Lord will get in him and he'll charge them up himself. Amen. So we're going to get ready and turn it over to Brother Mike. I gave him an introduction at the beginning of the revival. Let me do it just one more time. Amen. We want to reintroduce to you all the way from Atkins, Virginia, Smith County, United States of America, planet Earth. Here he is in the flesh, Brother Mike. He might hire me to take him in tonight.
Boy, it's been rich to be here tonight. It's just wonderful. Here's some folks that asked me to have these little. This is the only one I could find today. They've given out all these little announcements, but on the 21st and 22nd is the play up there, and if you've been. How many of you have been to the plays there at Freedom in the last while? Yeah, okay, well then you know what they are. I don't have to tell you. They're productions, Christian productions. And boy, they're working on the set up there. I was worried about my son and Jimmy Shoe last night. They way up yonder. Anyway, this play is set in 1895 at a little children's home in New York. It's called Follow the Star. We really put it together years ago, and they've reached in the archives and they brought it back. And it's very interesting, historic. A lot of those little kids in the cities, there were so many orphans back in the 1800s. A lot of people just forsake their kids. And if it wasn't for churches and good folks, a lot of them would have starved to death. But garment industry had gotten really big in the late 1800s, transitioning from the industrial to the commercial, from the agriculture to the industrial revolution. And so little children are being chained to sewing machines and everything, working 14, 16 hours, a little old pail put beside them for a bathroom. People just don't know. If you don't know your history, and people think we got it hard today. Well, yeah, we've got it a little rough today. Talk about politicians used to, they just shoot one another if they had a different drink back in 1800s. You've heard of Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr. Just go out in the back of the White House or back out to the Capitol building somewhere and roll off 40 paces and God help you, brother. They come down to gunfire and beating and fighting all the time over offices and politicking and all the rest of it. And but anyway, it's a drama, and there'll be some, of course, live music and stuff. But it'll just be an opportunity to bring you lost loved ones. You can get lost people very easily to come to these places. We did these plays since 1978. I got involved in that even when I was a kid myself at my home church, and then when I was a youth pastor, we just did a lot of plays and used to love them. And I saw God's hand on them, and the fact that you could get sinners in the house of God. Now, I guess I think Brother Joseph Wayne preaching to them, so maybe they won't have to worry about, getting under conviction or something. But it is a demonstration of the Word of God and the love of God in these plays. So you might want to bring your groups together. There's a number here you can look at, and it's on Facebook and on the website. And if you're traveling from a distance, and even local, if you got 10 or more, Sunday school group or church group or whoever, we'll save you a pleasant pew and rope it off, and it'll be designed, be a little sign there just with y'all's name on it. And I'll take care of the ones that get mad when they come in and see yours out there. Well, we've had some Baptists show up. Why didn't you sit there? Cornerstone's coming and sit there. Who's Cornerstone? We won't sit right there. That ain't no big deal. And we just appreciate everybody that's come these last several years. And hopefully you can get your groups together and come on, and we'll glorify the Lord together. Yeah. And we'll magnify Him and lift Him up. Because if He's got us through everything He's got us through in the past, He's going to get us through. Yeah. Brother Randall and I just came from a rally there in Smith County. And I bet we've had events in my little high school that I graduated from for years and years. People were asking me how many of you think's here. Well, I know for a fact there's 1,050 permanent seats in Marion Senior High School auditorium. They were all filled, people sitting around the wall, sitting in the back in the vestibule, and couldn't even get in the building over these First Amendment or Second Amendment sanctuary counties. I don't know if you're familiar with that, what's going on in Virginia or not. But me and Randall was sitting back there, and I'm glad you got a turnout. I'm glad people are about headed up to here with these progressive people that's trying to change America, and now they're just bullying us. If you don't agree, if you're not in favor of gay marriage, then they're going to bully you and be mean to you, just like our kids are now in high school. They're having transsexual days, learning transsexual pronouns, having to wear the rainbow colors, and if you don't wear the rainbow colors, you're the one who's demonized and bullied, where you're hate-filled and all this. And so they've changed our lives so much, as Americans in the last 20 years. And now, they don't want to give any type of forbearance or tolerance. And they're going on and on and on and on. And now, of course, under the name of gun safety and all, they're trying to change a lot of things in our General Assembly in Virginia. How many of you live in Virginia? Would you raise your hand? Okay, we got a few folks in Virginia. Well, we knew this was coming. The last session of our General Assembly, the conservatives, whatever you want to call it, our 40 seats in our Virginia Senate, was just a slim Republican majority. And I'm not a Republican or Democrat, I'm independent. And I think most of us are. That's evident because our elections usually in Tennessee and Virginia are, you'll have a Democrat win pretty big, then you'll have a Republican win. So it's not all partisan through these hills. Most all of us, obviously, from the results of our elections in our region, where most all of us are independent to some degree.
And I think we're all like that, and we don't trust any of them anymore. Like my old granny used to say, put them all in a paper poke, turn it upside down, God only knows which can fall out first. I never did really know what that meant. She used to say, well, it's a greasy that you stick to the bottom. I don't know what she's talking about. My old granny had a lot of sayings, and that was one of them. And so that's the way it is. But our House of Delegates, 100 seats, it was 49-51. 51-49. That's why we tried, even on television, we got all the political candidates at church and did all this, because we knew there was some rabid progressives in the Virginia House of Delegates that had already proposed a lot of preposterous left-wing stuff. And people like Bloomberg and Soros has put hundreds of millions of dollars in an effort in both Virginia and Texas to take Virginia and Texas and make it deep, deep, deep blue and far left-wing. And they're working hard in Texas. Because here's the deal, if the Electoral College was on their side, you'd never hear them say anything about it. But it's just like this, if Virginia goes deep, deep left, and Texas, along with New York and California, that's just about it. I mean, they'll just about control every election in the United States of America. And that's happened in our state of Virginia. Fairfax County and the big D.C. sprawl up there, for example, got 19 representatives, 19 delegates in the Virginia House of Delegates out of one county that's made up predominantly of government officials and government workers in the deep state, if you will. Now, we're not getting political in the House of God. We just tell you like it is. That's Fairfax County. 19 delegates of the 100 delegates in the Virginia House of Delegates come from one county. West of the New River, that's Montgomery County, if you know anything about Wythe County, Smith County, right on down here in Washington County that you border right over here. We only have, I think, 5 delegates west of the New River. Geographically, we're huge, but we have a very small representation in the Virginia House of Delegates. And Tidewater area, Richmond area, Fairfax area, they just about control the state of Virginia now, population-wise and voice and voting. That's why in our rural area here, we need every single solitary vote that counts. Mark Herring, our current Attorney General in Virginia, is left-wing. He wouldn't even defend the Defense of Marriage Act. Said he didn't agree with it, so he wouldn't want to defend it. That's our Attorney General saying, I'm not going to defend that law because I don't agree with it. Same thing that Eric Holder said. Same thing that Barack Obama said. And many, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 14 years ago, and people wasn't saying anything. Listen to me tonight, Rooty Branch, back in the 80s when they started taking prayer out in earnest. Started wanting the name of Jesus out of everything. You remember how we offended people? They said they were offended even when, I'm just going to take that down. Yeah, it's fine, but I don't believe I really need to anyhow. God give me a big set of lungs anyway. And, but anyhow, we didn't say anything. And they initiated all these plans and things, and nobody got stirred up like Paul did on Mars here. And now you've got these gun legislation, pieces of legislation that's been pre-introduced to our next session in our General Assembly, and they are way out there. And they're talking about making it illegal for a child even to bear arms. You know, that would be a felony if you can't take your children hunting anymore. So many things that are just far extreme in this thing, and it has lit a fire in people. Back to what I was saying a minute ago, I estimated personally, and I don't really know a lot, but I know that the building holds 1,000 permanent seats. They were pretty much all of it because the Smith County Sheriff's Department was ushering. And they're trying to get people said, well, where Randall and I was, it was